And I had put up on my status message on Facebook, I don't know if you saw this, but I said, if the world is a prison, Americans are the bitch, and the government is the daddy they give the ass up to for protection from general population.
That's pretty much it.
General population would be the so-called terrorists and all of the threats that, are trying to claim their life. So, you give up a little ass so you can be protected.
Right.
I mean, I thought it was a perfect analogy for what's going on, because I see these people talking about, well, I'd rather be, I mean, there was some news commentators on the networks going, yeah, frisk me, check me, like they have no problem with it.
Yeah,
one thing. As a matter of fact, that's what one of the dudes said.
Yeah, one thing leads to another. Once you can allow that to happen, then you'll take the chip too. You'll take the chip and say, let's do this. The American chip that just identifies you as an American. There's no problem. It's a minor surgery that we just put this chip inside you, and we just want to see who's who. That's all. People.
And so in light of that, what's the presupposition in the entire argument when it comes to the TSA putting more? And if you look at the flow of things and how things have gone, they found out that people were able to sneak box cutters in and take a plane. So they did security for that. Then they find out that somebody was able to mix some liquids together and cause a bomb. So now they had security against that. Then somebody put something in their shoe. So then they make us take our shoes off. You know what I'm saying? Then some dude puts a bomb in his underwear or whatever. So then they start checking, bodies again. It's like, do you sense the pattern here? Why do they think that changing something in the present affects what already happened in the future, in the past? They're reacting to everything that the so-called terrorists do, and then implementing some policy after the fact. Well, what does the pattern show you? The pattern show you that everything that you do, they do something else.
Right.
So that's one aspect of it. Another aspect of it is, what is the presupposition in the entire argument? The presupposition in the entire argument is that the government is supposed to protect you. I mean, do the governments own the planes, or are those private corporations that own the planes?
Right.
Those are private companies. So how does the government get involved anyway, especially in light of the fact, and like I said, the pink elephant in the room in regards to this whole terrorism thing, this whole protection and security thing is the government has no affirmative duty to protect anyone.
Right.
Anyone.
Those TSA workers, what do they make, like about $7,000-8,000 an hour or something like that? I mean, if they really felt that threatened, then they would have the National Guard would be the ones that would be there checking people. If it was that much of an emergency in this country, they felt that threatened that people were going to come on board and with bombs and all kind of shit, they would have the National Guard there. Not these TSA workers that just passed a test, took a drug test back then, and to get the job and whatever, and they just there, working part-time there, then another time they may be a UPS or whatever. Come on, man.
Well, if the goal was to protect you and they actually had a duty or an obligation to do it, that wouldn't make any sense. But since we already know that they don't, and in case, like I made that statement before, and I guess, like I was asking somebody today on a different topic to provide me with evidence, let me go to the case Bowers versus Devito. Anybody can look up this case. It's been shepherdized. If anybody knows what that means, it's been put in the case law. And it says, the Constitution is a charter of negative liberties. It tells the state to let the people alone. It does not require the federal government or the state to provide services, even so elementary a service as maintaining law and order. And for those who don't believe the state has no duty to protect so-called citizens, try suing the state if you get robbed or injured. Did anyone sue the federal government for the loss of their family members' lives and failing to protect them after 9/11?
Right.
So if the government was so responsible for your protection, how come nobody was liable for the loss of life on 9/11? If you have no liability, then you have no responsibility. Now, if I'm wrong and somebody can show me how I'm wrong, please call in and do it. But name one job where you're not liable for something, but yet you're responsible for it. If you provide a service, if the regular citizen or, you create a business and you provide a service to someone and say, I'm going to be responsible for the security of your house. If something happens in my house or somebody comes in and kills my family or I get robbed blind, I can sue you.
Right, you need to do your job.
Because you didn't do what you said you were going to do. You didn't provide the service that you said you were going to provide. How come that doesn't apply to the federal government and the state? But yet the marketing presentation that everybody goes for is that that's actually their job to do.
Right. Which they telling you that's not their job.
Yeah. I mean, these cases, this is only one. I mean, I can go through a whole list of cases. And actually what I'll do is while we're talking, I'm going to post a link in the group where people can see the various cases to show my point. The state and the city, all of that, they have no duty to protect because you cannot sue them if they don't do it. You can't do anything to them if they don't do the job or provide the service that they say they are responsible or it's their duty to do. So whenever I hear politicians get up there like George Bush, you know what I'm saying,
right,
and get up there and say, it's my solemn duty, that's a lie. Again, that's just simply what it is. If it's your solemn duty, then the government should have been sued on 9/11, after 9/11.
That's right. This is where all the conspiracy theorists get their ammunition, and they try, they're debunked or they're looked at as crazy. They come up with these shows that what really happened 9/11 and try to flip and bounce the story or whatever. But the bottom line is that, people's privacy, the right for privacy, which is in the Constitution, is being eroded. It's being eroded in the name of national security. And people are allowing this to happen out of fear, and they really feel that the government, this word government is thrown around like this is some entity walking around, I'm the government. The government is just individuals.
That's right.
The government's not just some entity walking around. Right, a group of men.
The government is a group of men and women,
Or selected.
Yeah, they're a bunch of group of men and women who impose their opinions on you at the barrel of a gun. That's the government.
Right.
And the government can do now get this. The government, according to the so-called law and the Constitution, the government can have no powers that the people don't have. So how is it possible that the people can assign Well, no, I won't phrase it that way. How is it possible that the government can assign themselves power that was not given to them by the people? If the people didn't have it, the government can't have it. And I'm going by them. Of course, we know it's all bullshit. The Constitution is bullshit. The law is bullshit. The Bill of Rights is bullshit. Even the so-called rights is bullshit. We all know that. But if we go according to the marketing presentation that they put out there, there's a major, major disconnect and contradiction, isn't there?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to give you the right to basically molest me before I get on a plane, but I can't do that. You know, what if I see, like, Cherokee or a porn star going through the thing? Can I pull them over and, you know, check their body and see if Al-Qaeda is back there?
Sure.
I'll get arrested for doing that.
All that tail they got to have some contraband hiding in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks very suspicious to me. I need to pat that down.